So I'll tell you the story. I used to hang around because he had problems with the Farleys in Anfield when I was younger. I used to have base on with Mikey Wright and the Scotty Road lads on Scotland Road before it went messy with them. So Mikey had a problem with the Farleys, I had a problem with the Farleys, so it was a natural come together. But anyway, the way we used to earn money back in the day, we couldn't tap into the drug market because Mikey Wright had us sewn up and we weren't allowed to do on his patch, right? So that's the way it worked. So we had other ways of making our money. Like we'd burgle off licences, we'd burgle public houses, we'd do mad burgs and that, never on houses. Let me just get that in there. Never burgle houses. So that's what we'd do. We'd get our money in different ways. So I'd be like burgling and that, and then Kilty, Little Berkey, Rangy, Whiteye, groups like that, Willis Nelson, Nicky Nelson. They're life's off now, them kids, Nicky and Willis. But they used to go into town and sneak shops. You know, distraction thefts. So what they'd do, they'd go into town, they'd go into a shop. You'd have little Franny, he was the smallest. So he was the one that would shoot round the back of the tills and empty the counters. So Willis and Rangy and that would go in here, cause a little bit of kerfuffle here, get the fella from behind the counter to come over here and, you know, show them a pair of trainees or a few tops or something. And while he's busy there, Little Berkey be in the back, getting the cash, getting any valuables, and then back out, and then they'd just leave. And they used to make good money off it. They used to make boss money off it, mate. So on this particular time, this weekend actually, Mikey was a jealous rat. He was jealous, and whenever the boys made some money and was in nice clothes and rigged out, he'd get jealous. And when we wouldn't be near him because we've got our dough and that and we're doing, he'd get proper envious. And on this particular couple of days, he was picking on little Franny. He had a problem with Franny's brother Paul at the time as well, and he was giving over that problem with Paul as well. So we sort of stayed clear of the corner where we'd normally go. So we've had this touch, we've had our touch, they've had their touch. We've come together, we've gone into town, we've rigged ourselves out. We've Kilty and Franny have gone out and got themselves jeans so they can go out in the night on the Saturday night. They've gone and got the jeans, they got themselves Paul the Shark jumpers that were identically the same. Okay? Like red and white striped jumpers. No, the wool ones, the decent ones. So we're all in town. We go to town, we end up at this club called The Buzz. The same club where I got a hiding outside of a few weeks later or something. We're outside this club, The Buzz, and we go to this club called The Buzz. Alongside us, we used to have this kid called Paul Chadwick, and he used to have cousins called the Hazes. Have you heard of John Ass? Have you heard of Little Hazy, the rapper? Well, he's related to John Ass, you know, the big time gangster from Liverpool. Well, Little Hazy's uncles and dads, John Ass, Jeffrey, Gary, Tony, they was always had Michael O'Rourke with them, and Chaddy was their cousin. And what they used to do is kick people's doors in and tax them for the dough. So what they'd done the day before, or a couple of days before we had our touch and when the town were closed, they'd went through a door on Kensington Road to a lad called Darren Foy. So they kicked Darren Foy's flat in, robbed him basically, slapped him up, robbed him and got off. So Darren Foy has had a problem with Paul Chadwick. So we're all in this club. We've, as I said, Quilty's got this jumper on. Little Berkey's got the same type of jumper on as Kilty. But Chaddy has turned up with the same type of jumper on as well. So they're in the club now. I've left. I'm back in some other boozer with Pancake, Glover, and someone else. So we're round the corner. But when the clubs have shut, we've got in the car and drove round to the Buzz to see them. So when we've drove round, we're sat outside the Buzz now, waiting. It's unloading, it's all coming out now. During that time there in that club, Chaddy's gone in that club, and some of Foy's mates have recognised Chaddy. And the information they've given to Foy and Monkey, Michael Clay his name was. The information they've given to their mates, Michael Clay and Darren Foy, was Chaddy's in here, he's got this jumper on. But when Chaddy's recognised, Chaddy's being told. So we're parked, I'm just remembering this from back then. We're parked up and we see a green Megane creep into where we're parked up and just sit at the end. A Renault Megane, a green one. And it was Foy and Michael Clay in it. And what happens is people recognise him and send a message to Chaddy saying they're outside waiting for you. So before all the boys have left, Chaddy slipped out the exit door, not telling no one, he's just been bailed, strat. As he's done that, Kilty, Franny, Rangy, everyone's come out the club, and because we're outside in the car, they've come straight over to the car. As they stood at our car, Darren Foy's pulled a 357 Magnum out from the Megane and let shots off at Kilty because they thought he was Chaddy with the jumper on. So they've let a few shots off. One's went right into Kilty. A couple actually went right into Kilty. One's ricocheted off the car and went right through little Franny. And that was it. That was it. Little Franny fucking had his life taken. Kilty was lucky to survive. The process in the next 24 hours was, we know who they are, let's go through the doors. We were speaking to Franny's mum and family, and all they really want was the rats in jail, arrested, justice. So I'm not lying, this is all the truth, this. So within 24 hours, we've masked up, me and two others, Spiff Richardson and Pancake Taylor. We've masked up and we went through a few doors in Kenny where we thought these lads would be. We went through Stacey Morgan's front door, boom, took the hinges off, looking for them. Eventually we got the message to them. We spoke to them on the phone and we just told them straight, you either hand yourself in or you Within so many hours they've handed themselves in, arrested, charged, and got themselves 12 years, because that's what you used to get for life for that site back then. You used to get a recommendation of 12s on that back then. I've got to keep on reiterating that I'm not lying, but there's people out there with the names I've mentioned and they will confirm what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? It can be easily confirmed. So they went into custody. Little Burkes passed away. I've got his tattoo on my back. So around the same time, no, a few years later, Wes Brown and that was coming to our estate. Started having little Wes Brown and all that on our estate with us. And a few years later, a lad called, it was on the turn, it was the millennium. It was about 12, year 2000, the millennium. A lad called Danny MacDonald got blasted in a boozer. He was always on our estate, Danny Black. He's always with Wes, always on our estate, always round us. So he's passed away. He's been shot dead in some pub in Croxteth. And me and Wes, we were always together. We'd make our dough on what we were doing now. We'd go into town, we'd spoil ourselves. We had big bracelets on. You know what you do like dickhead? We had big bracelets, all the best clobber on, big sacks of weed, the best phones, little cars, motorbikes. We had all that, the mentality back then, though, weren't it? And we've seen a tattoo shop, me and Wes. So we've both gone into the tattoo shop at the same time. Wesley's got a tattoo in remembrance of Danny Wah, And I've got a tattoo in remembrance of little Burkes. And it's on the top of my back. It's the first tattoo I've got. It says, "Riding to die, rest in peace, Burkes." So it's a mad life, isn't it? And you know, when I think back and think about it, the amount of people I've had round me who were dead or lifed off in prison now, it's a massive, you know. It's massive. Let me see if I can think of how many people that I've had round me who's been on our estate and died for whatever reason. Because when we were active, we had all the game kids from round the city coming to our estate. All of them. We had your little Liam Kelly. He got blasted to death by Kevin Parley. Cambo used to be with Liam Kelly. Got self-lifed off for that murder. We had Wes Brown. We had Blake. We had Dean. You know, I think it's Dean now who's blasted to death outside a probation hostel. We had Colin Cheshire. He died on a motorbike. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's just loads of deaths and trauma and situations that surround us and that life. Messy. Yeah, Blake. So it was just a messy lifestyle, people. And horrible it was. But I always think about Franny. Always think about Franny. Because he was a boss kid. He was a boss kid, mate.